Final Girl, featuring Hans at Camp Happy Trail, starring Laurie. Laurie requires 6 victims to be saved in order to unlock her ultimate ability, which reads, whenever you are in the same space as an enemy and inflict damage, do an additional damage. And then at the very bottom left, for each additional victim saved, increase your time. Hans the Butcher. He grew up in the town of Happy Trails. This was before it became a camp. This is a flashback. Hans the Butcher was the youngest child of the Metzger family. The family was from Germany and they were the best butchers around. The town loved their meat products that they brought to the market. This little pig he brought to the market. I'm getting the pun that they actually started. Anyway, Hans, when he was a child, had an obsession with a pig mask, a wooden pig mask. The town ridiculed him, made fun of him, but they tolerated him more because his family were the best meat around. But eventually the Metzgers stopped coming to the market. The town grew worried, so they formed a search party to try and find him. They went to the land and couldn't find any people around, couldn't find any animals around, couldn't even find any insects around. They did see the barn in the back. They entered the barn, exited the barn, razed and burned down their entire property. The only thing that the search party ever said about that was that the Metzgers are gone. With them gone, the town's appetite for meat eventually evaporated overnight, and suddenly animals began disappearing, a goat and a cow. There was a child that went missing, and eventually someone named Thomas Hofstetter, he said he witnessed someone, who was Maria Woodson, being dragged into the dark, and other people said that they heard crunching noises coming from the forest. People believed them and fled the town. Some stayed because they were stubborn. That year, there was a census year. So when the census came around to take a population toll of the town, there were 0. There was no one in the town of Happy Trails. Flashback forward to we are around a campfire with a camp counselor telling us a story about Hans. He's telling us about how years ago the camp was built upon the town where it once was. And in the classic horror film trope, he's sort of retelling the story about Hans, and he inscripted someone else, another counselor, to try and mimic him in the woods, to scare the little children around. But it wasn't his friend that found him. The last thing that Edwin remembered was the sickening crunch of his skull as they collapsed in a geyser of bone and scarlet, as it says at the bottom. Whew. Hans couldn't help but admire the lovely buffet that had been delivered to his home. Part of the neat thing about the Lawrence scenario book is it comes with pre-made scenarios, which is pretty much storylines, which takes you fighting the killer, which is Hans in this case, through all of the season 1 locations. And it has that for each of the killers. So this one's Poltergeist and other ones the rest. And it also has Laurie Carpenter was born with a chip on her shoulder. Even from a young age, the fastest way to get her to do something was to tell her that she couldn't do it. And that's her miniature, and she comes with little tips for playing her. The scenario we'll be playing is Night of the Pig. Laurie had never wanted to come to camp, much less participate in the annual nighttime treasure hunt, but her girlfriend had been very convincing. It'll be fun, babe. Come on, do it for me. Laurie could never say no to Lucy. Within minutes of the starting whistle, they'd become separated, and now Laurie was lost and becoming angrier by the minute. But her anger turned to fear when the screams began. She frantically began searching for something to use as a weapon, anything, when she remembered that the new camp director was a pacifist and had gotten rid of archery, wood carving, and anything resembling a weapon. Damn it, Lucy, what have you gotten us into? Laurie would have to make do with her hands if she and Lucy were going to survive the night and whatever out there in the dark. So these scenarios are sort of pre-built. They tell you what Final Girl to use, what setup, which is the location setup, what items to bring to the scenario, what events to have in this scenario and in what order. So on this one, we know that it'll start with stubborn kids, and then we'll find our girlfriend Lucy. Tells us which tarot cards to use from the location, tells us which tarot cards to use from the killer, and their dark power, which procs whenever we get to this location on the Bloodlust tracker, and also what finale to use. And this is sort of like a story as Hans goes around to the other locations of the other feature films. It's kind of neat. A quick explanation of some things. We are playing as Laurie, represented by the pink meeple, and Hans is the killer, represented by the red meeple. The objective of the game is for us, Laurie, to kill Hans the killer, and if we do that, we win. If Hans instead kills us, we lose. If we kill each other at the same time, then that's sort of like a martyr situation. We still consider that a win. So our health is, oh my gosh, Hans has so many health. Hans has 12 health, Laurie has 5, indicated by the top left here, and the hearts here. An interesting mechanic of the game is the final health token. Whenever the final health token is flipped over, it can either have 0 to 2 hearts, and if it's 0 hearts, then they're dead. If it shows 1 or 2 hearts, then they come back to life in sort of like a last breath, last gasping breath sort of thing, and gameplay continues on. And that can happen for both of us. What else can we talk about? We are playing on the treasure hunt setup, and I've already set up the board as such. The first event that we'll play when we start playing, we already know what it is thanks to the Lawrence scenario book. We have all of our cards here in the tableau section. I'll explain how they're bought as we progress through the game, but the main idea is for us to try and kill Hans. All right. So we start off by taking all the 0 cost cards. That's 2 focus, 2 walk, a weak attack, and a short rest. But most notably, we start off with 1 event. And that event says Stubborn Kids, as it was told to us in the Lawrence scenario book. Stubborn Kids says 1 less victim will follow you. So in this game, we try to rescue victims represented by the yellow meeples. Normally we can run up to them, grab 2 of them from both of our hands and drag them with us. But because they're stubborn, that means we can only drag 1. And we have to drag them to one of these exit points, which is this space, which has it's a green border and it has a door icon. I know you can't see it because it's very far away. This is an exit point, this is an exit point, and this up here is an exit point as well. There's also 3 searchable locations indicated by a orange border and has a wrench icon. Here is the utility shed, here is the dock, and here is the cabins. And indicated up here, the cabins currently has the trash can lid, the dock has fireworks, and the utility shed has the archery bow. Ooh. That's so far away from me. I want to get that bow. Oh well. Let's see. What do we want to do? I think first, our horror track tells us where it starts at over here at 4. So this is represented by this meeple at the 4. As we increase our horror or decrease our horror and increase our horror, if we ever get to the green threshold, that means we get to roll 1 extra dice. If we're in the white threshold, that means we only roll 2 dice. That was 3 dice over here, 2 dice. And if we ever in the red threshold, that means we roll 1 dice. So we want to get into the green zone as soon as we can. But because these kids are stubborn. Okay, so I think my opening strategy is, since I can only do 1 at a time, I think I'm going to try and save this victim and try to bring them over here to the exit. Whenever you save a victim, you place them on your final girl card. Hope this is in sight. And then you get the benefits of whatever you want to use it on. Eventually, whenever you get all of them placed, and for Laurie, that's 6, you unlock their ultimate ability, which hers says whenever you are in the same space as the enemy and inflict damage, do an additional damage, and any further victim save increases your time. Time is the resource that this game uses to purchase more from the tableau. And as you progress through your turn, you'll see it like on a card like this. Depending on what you roll, on the result of your dice roll, you can. This icon means reduce the horror, but this icon increases the time that you have currently. These decrease the time that you have. And at the end of the turn, or at the end of the player's turn, whatever time they have left, they use to purchase cards. And at the bottom right of a card tells you how much they cost. For these, 0 cost, they're free, but they require going 1 turn into the tableau before I can grab them. So I think the first thing that we'll do is just try to do a walk. We're gonna try and do a walk. So we're gonna roll however many dice our horror tracker tells us, which currently is 2. Actually, no, before walking, I think we're gonna do a focus where this icon means reduce your horror track, and I'm gonna see if I can't get some good reductions of horror, because I wanna roll 3 dice. So we'll roll 2 dice as indicated by the horror track. Oh, yeah. Okay, that is 1 reduction of horror and 2 increase of time. So the time always resets to 6, at least in the standard game. There's an extreme horror mode that we won't talk about, but I've played Focus, I've got the good effects of that, and it goes into the discard area. Let's see, I think I'll just focus again. See if I can get some more of that luck. All right, so on this dice, there also are this icon that has 2 cards. They're sort of just 2 rectangles, but they're indicating the iconography is supposed to be cards. I can discard 2 cards from my hand to turn this into a success. So right now, this is 0 success. And if I had 0 success, I would only reduce my time by 2. Don't want to do that, so I'll discard weak attack and short rest. Short rest, I don't need to heal, and weak attack, I'm not next to the enemy. Turn one of these into a success, which means I reduce our horror tracker by 1, but I reduce our time by 1. Okay. And I think I will do one walk. I only have 1 card in my hand, so I can't use the 2 card, the 3 and 4 on this dice. And then, of course, that's what I get. Okay, so I have to resolve the 0 success, which I can do either one of these. I can continue my turn. Well, let me start with the first one. I can move 1 space, reduce my health by 1, and then reduce my time by 2. Or if I don't want to move it, if I'm trying to save my health, I can instead just ignore everything and reduce time by 2. I think I will move 1 space into this spot, lose a health, and reduce my time by 2. And then just be very sad. Very sad at that. So that means I still have 1 card left in my hand. My turn is over. My time right now is at 5, so that means I have 5 time to purchase cards for my tableau. I think I'll grab a sprint, which is for 2, so that means I have 3 time left over. Yeah, I could go for an improvise. This this allows our 3s and 4s to be successes of a future roll. I could improvise into a sprint to try and save this victim. I think that's a good idea, and that uses all my time. So we reset our time tracker back up to 6, and now it's the killer's turn. So the killer starts off by performing their killer action, which right now is target the nearest final girl or the nearest victim. So this is 1, 2 away, 1, 2 away. So both of these are equidistant away from each other. So in the rules of this game, there are, what did we call it? Ambiguity rules. And depending on how you want to sort of set the rules, there's 3 different thoughts of the rules of game ambiguity. The rule of infinite evil, which resolve results in a way which is the worst outcome for you, so that's like evil always wins. The rule of abject realism, which is resolve rules in the way that seems most realistic or thematic, or the rule of the never-ending hilarity, which is resolve the results in the funniest outcome, which is subjective, of course. So in this case, let's see, utility shed, dock. Let's go with the rule of, what do we call it over here? The rule of infinite evil. The worst outcome for me. I'm going to determine that the worst outcome for me is him going for the utility shed, because that's where I have the archery bow, and that's an item that I would really like to have. So he's going to move. Oh no, he's not even going to move, right? He only targets the nearest final girl or victim, and then he slashes around him. There's no one around him. He's just standing there. Nice. And then the next thing we do is draw a terror card. Let's go see if the rumors are true. Place 2 new victims in the space where the killer started the game. He's currently still on that spot? What? These stupid kids. Where the killer started the game. Increase your horror, so you're back up to 3. And then draw a new event card. Now we know what this next event is. It's going to be our girlfriend Lucy. That is going to be represented by the white meeple. I'll hold this up so we can take a peek at it. Maybe in post-editing I'll add a zoomed-in view of it. The victim closest to you is now your girlfriend. So, oh hey, this was my girlfriend all along. Nice. She will follow me into the killer space. So normally whenever a victim is following you, they'll follow you everywhere except into a space with the killer. So the girlfriend advantage is she will come with me into the killer space, if I so choose. While she's in my space, I get to roll 1 extra dice for each horror roll. That's nice. If the girlfriend dies while in my space, increase horror 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. If the girlfriend leaves play, discard this card. Okay. Well, that's my girlfriend. I think because of Stubborn Kids event, I can't bring more than 1 victim, so I think I'm just going to save my girlfriend and then continue on with the rest of the game. Let's see. All right. So normally, if Hans did kill someone in the space, he didn't. The victims in that space would panic out, and that would be determined by a dice roll. I'll put these dice back. And then it's an upkeep phase. Right now we have no upkeep events, so we just go back to the player's next turn. So here we are, turn 2. I think we'll start off with a neat little improvisation. Oh, right. Because I am with my girlfriend, she'll follow you into those. While she's in my space, I get to roll 1 extra dice. So I get to roll 3 dice. Thanks, Lucy. That is 1 success. I kind of don't want to discard these. So that is, for the next horror roll only, all 3s and 4s are successes. So that's nice. So we are just going to go ahead and sprint. Again, that we normally would roll 2 dice, but our girlfriend gives us +1 dice. And right now, Lucy's our top priority, baby. 2 stars. Let's see. That means we get to move up to 3 spaces. Oh, actually, on the previous improvised. Oh wait, okay. Just making sure I didn't miss a time reduction. Okay. For this sprint, we get to move up to 3 spaces, and this is going to be 1, 2, saving Lucy, putting her on our board here. Let's see. I think we will claim the bonus of moving one additional space, and we still have one more movement. I think maybe just one more here. That's 3 movement from the sprint, plus 1 because on Lori's ability on the very bottom right, I'm claiming my girlfriend Lucy, that she lets me move 1 extra space, so she sort of takes it up like that. Once this filled up with 6 victims saved, I get her ultimate ability. Okay, so that sprint is done. The effects of improvise is no longer active. So I'm just gonna try and normal walk. I guess I'm gonna try and save this random person. Nothing. I could move, yeah, I'll go ahead and move 1 space. 1 space, reduce my health by 1, and then reduce my time by 2. It hurts, but I'll have to do it. Oh, I also forgot. Okay, so this turn I only played improvise, sprint, and walk. I forgot to return the rest of my cards to the tableau. So that means in the tableau are the cards that I didn't play, or that I didn't play this turn, except for these. Game state saved. All right. So that's pretty much my turn. I have 4 time to purchase. I think that will be another sprint. That means I have 2 time to use. Search, close call. Oh, get back all my 0 cost, of course. I could get 2 close calls, or I could get a search. Yeah, I'll get 2 close calls. Purchase is complete. I'm going to move my previously played cards back into the tableau. One of them is a 0 cost walk, one of them is a sprint, and the other one is an improvise. They're back in the tableau. And then my turn is complete. Now it's the killer phase. The killer will target the nearest person and attack. So that's unfortunate for us. So it kills this victim into the dead pile. Killing a victim increases the killer's bloodlust tracker. As this increases, this column has bad things that happen. This one increases our horror track. This one unlocks his dark power. Those are all bad things. Okay, so he kills that one, and that's all he does. Now we draw a terror card. Let's see. He wants fresh blood. If there are no victims on the board, discard and draw the next terror card. Otherwise, target the nearest victim. 2 boots of movement. Right now, his movement is still 1, indicated by this table row. So he would normally, with this card, move 2, but that's due to 1 movement per boot. He eventually gets up to 2 movement per boot or 3 movement per boot. He's just going to kill another victim. That's wonderful. Which increases our horror track, which increases our, increases our bloodlust tracker, which increases our horror. This is fantastic. I mean that sarcastically. This is not going great. Okay. And that's the killer phase finished. Normally, this is when the victim would have panicked. If this victim were still here, because he killed a victim this turn, they would panic by rolling a dice and going into a random direction. But, you know, with the terror card, they're dead anyways. That doesn't matter. And then it's our turn. Oh yeah, so since the girlfriend is gone, this can be discarded. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so I think from this turn I want to go 1, 2, 3. I want to move 3, and that's probably going to be with both the sprint and the walk. But since I have both my focuses here, I think I'm going to do some focusing up. Okay, focus. So now I don't have my girlfriend with me anymore. So this is going to be a 2 dice roll because that's where I currently am on the horror track. Come on, baby. Give me some good focuses. Oh, yeah. Reduce my horror by 1. Increase my... Oh, wait. Time resetted back to 6. Increase my time by 2. Yeah. Okay. And then I think while we're here again, might as well focus again. Same thing. Pleased with the same result. That would be fantastic. Would love that. Yeah. Papa needs some new shoes, or I mean, Mama, because I am Lori. Yes. Okay. Reduce horror track by 1. Increase time by 2. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Whew. Let's go for a sprint. Can I still roll like that again? That would be fantastic. All right. Okay. Could discard 2. I could discard. The problem is, I could close call it. No, that would reduce. Actually, yeah, I'll close call it. So for a close call, I could play after any horror roll to either re-roll 1 dice or re-roll all dice and reduce my time by 2. I think since I got some extra time, I am going to reduce it by 2 to re-roll all the dice. Come on. Okay, at least 1. Do I want to go 1, 2, 3? It would be nice if I went up to there. So I think I am going to discard my close call and weak attack to change this to a success. So that way I have met 2 successes on this, which allows me to, let me go ahead and reduce my time so I don't forget. I get to move up to 3 spaces, dragging along a victim with me. And because since they're stubborn, I can only do 1 at a time. 1, 2, 3. Save this victim. What do I want? Ooh, I'm gonna use a reduction of our horror track. So now we're in the green zone, baby. We get 3 dice to roll. Oh yeah. And then I think I'll play the rest of these. I am going to walk with 3 dice on my roll. Absolutely nothing. I think I will move up to 1 space, reduce my health, and reduce my time by 2. So that really sucks, but I am actually this time going to short rest. I hope I get a success because this is going to suck. Thank goodness. I heal 1 health and I reduce my time by 1. I'm out of cards in my hand, so go ahead and reset these. I have 4 time to purchase. I'm going to get a sprint, which reduces it by 2. And then I'm going to buy a search, which also reduces it by 2. Get the rest of my 0 cost cards, which is just a walk. Oh, this is going to be a rough turn. And then return to the tableau everything that I played this turn. These are my 0 cost cards. These are my close calls, sprint, and 2 focuses. Okay, that's my turn. The killer gets a turn. He targets the nearest victim and then slashes the air. No one's there. So then we draw a terror card. He just keeps coming. So increase horror track by 1. Oh, that means we're no longer at 3 dice. Target the nearest victim. And I think we'll use the rules of infinite evil. Since I want something from the utility shed, I want the archery bow. We're going to have him try to kill those victims. So he's going to move up to 1 boot, which right now is still at 1, and then attack the air. So he's not killing anyone, but he is getting closer. Panic phase happens, and then upkeep happens, and then now it's back to us. Okay. I think we're going to try and do a nice little sprint. Let's go for a sprint, shall we? 2 dice. Feels bad. Okay. Come on. Okay, 1, move up to 2 spaces. That's what I needed. 1, 2, we're in the cabins with some friends. But I do reduce my, the timer reset to 6, and then I reduce it by 1, so I'm at 5. And then I'm going to search. So at the cabins, we know it has a trash can lid, which is ignoring a damage per pip, and the 3 pips are on that weapon. Ideally, I want to get 2 stars here, because I want to dig even deeper with it, but let's find out. Let's find out. No stars. And I only have 1 card in my hand, so I can't substitute that to be a success. So I can either, oh my god, take the top item card at my space, which would be the trash can lid, increase horror by 2, decrease time by 2, or ignore the item, just increase horror by 1 and reduce time. I think I'm gonna do that, the second. I don't really want that trash lid right now. So I'm gonna increase horror by 1, reduce time by 2, and sulk the rest of my turn away. I'm not gonna use my walk. I'm gonna stay at the cabins because I'm gonna continue to search. So that means my turn is done. I have 3 money to spend. I'm gonna buy a search, and I'm going to buy a close call. And that is 3 monies. That's 2 for the search, 1 for the close call. Getting the rest of my 0 cost cards back into my hand. Ooh, this is gonna be a thick turn. Returning to the tableau, my search and my sprint card. Resetting this up to 6, so I remember this time. And then the killer goes. He targets the nearest victim, slashes the air, nothing, and then he goes into the terror card. Oh no, he's got his buff. So this, unfortunately, means his health is increased by 2. Unholy speed. Hans's moves 1 additional space for each boot. So he has 2 movement instead of 1, which, it's not this. The most annoying part is it gives him 2 extra health. So that sucks. Panic phase, and then upkeep phase, and then player phase. Okay, so here's the plan. We're gonna focus twice. We're gonna reduce our horror down so we can get the 3 star, and then we're gonna search. Or 3 dice. Okay, so we're gonna start with a single focus. 1 success. Reduce horror track by 1. Reduce time by 1. That is done. The second focus. 1 success. I'll do that again. We're in the green zone. And reduce time by 1. Okay. Now we search with 3 dice. We're trying to aim for 2 successes here, boys. Come on. Yes. Take the top 2 item cards of your space and choose 1. Place the other one on top or underneath face down and reduce time by 1. So I'm going to reduce the time so I don't forget. But I get to look at both the trash can, which is reduce the damage, or, ignore, is this ignore a single damage or an instance of a damage? I'm going to say it just ignores a single damage for 3 pips, but we also get the Lucky Rabbit's Foot. Discard during the action phase to make a horror roll. For each success, choose one of the following. Ooh. I think I really like the Lucky Rabbit's Foot. So this is going to go into my inventory. I'm going to put it over here. So I can return this either to the top of the deck, face ups, because I know that it was there, or I can return it to the bottom of the deck. And I think I'll go ahead and do that. And that was that search complete. Since I have 3 die, do I want to do the Lucky Rabbit's Foot right now? I think I do. Yeah, I am going to go ahead and sacrifice and use the Lucky Rabbit's Foot. So this is during my action phase. We're going to make a horror roll. Absolute dog shit. I could discard 4 things. It's like I could discard these 2 and these 2 to get 2 successes, which I could heal and then move 1 space. Doesn't sound too terrible. Or, no, I don't want to reduce my time. Yeah, I'm going to discard, but that's both of my walks. I kind of don't want to do that. Okay, yeah, I am going to use Close Call to reroll all of them and reduce my time. Now I'm at 1 time. So this is terrible. This is a terrible idea. Why did I do this? That was the best idea I've ever had. Okay. I get to choose two things from here. I think I will increase time by 2 and move 1 space. Because I feel like I'm done with the cat. Well, I mean, technically I'm not, but I do want to keep saving victims. So I'll go ahead and move 1, and because they're stubborn, only 1 will come with me at a time. So I'll search the cabins again to get this second one. This lucky rabbit's foot is gone. This close call is used. Let's see. Oh, then I think I will just, yeah, I think I'll walk. Come back here. We're still doing things. 1 regular walk coming right up. 2-star. Move up to 2 spaces, reduce time by 1. I'll reduce that, so that's 1 space, and I get to save you. I'll put her on increasing my time by 2, because Lord knows I need it. And that was 1 move, and this is my second move. I think I will go ahead and use the second walk. That way next turn I can just search the spot I'm currently on, and maybe improvise as well. 1 success. Yeah. It's not too terrible. Yeah. 1 success. I'll move up to 1 space, reduce time by 1. And then I believe I will short rest here because I am 3 health out of 5. Nothing. So nothing means, and I don't have a close call in my hand, gain a health, so that's nice. Increase my horror by 1, so now I'm no longer in the green zone. Reduce my time by 1 and end the turn. This one means end the turn. I can no longer do anything. That kind of sucks. Okay, let's get this reset. Good here. I still have a weak attack in my hand. I only have 2 time to spend this time. I think I will buy a search card. Oh my gosh, do I really have like nothing here? Oh, this is going to be such a bad turn. Okay, then I return to the tableau all the cards that I used. Search and focus. Oh, this is a terrible turn. On my turn, I only have a weak attack and a search. Okay. The killer moves, targets the nearest person, attacks. He doesn't move on that one, so nothing there. And then terror card. Whenever I run out of the terror cards, that's when his not the dark power, his finale ability? Is that what they're called? Yeah, his finale becomes flipped over. So let's go ahead and go to the top terror card. The horrific hammer rush. If there are no victims on the board, discard and draw the next terror card. Otherwise, target the nearest victim, 2 boots over. So normally that would be a total of 2 movement because he has that 1. However, each boot gives +1 movement, so that's a total movement of 4, but he only needs 1. I'm just explaining that to y'all. Oh no. So he's gonna move to the utility shed. He's gonna attack twice, and these victims only have 1 health, so he's killing 2 victims here. Oh, this is terrible. From those 2 deaths, he's gonna increase the horror by the bloodlust by 2, which increases our horror. And then the very line, for each victim killed this way, increase horror by 1. And he killed 2 victims, so we're at 5 horror. Yeesh. Oh, that's so bad. We need to save 3 more people. Can we get these 3 people to be saved, please? That would be nice. Okay. Our turn. We have a search. That's all we can do. Oh, jeez. I do not want to increase the horror by 2. I have to increase the horror by 1 and reduce my time by 2, which I forgot to reset. Okay. That's it. I'm going to use 4, so I'm going to purchase 1 last search and 1 sprint, and then this search returns back to the tableau. The killer will target his nearest thing, attack, and then nothing, and then terror card. He just came out of nowhere. Place Hans with the furthest target possible. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. So he is going to go to the docks. Oh, jeez. Place Hans with the furthest target possible. Increase horror. Oh no, we're in the red zone. Draw the next terror card. Fudge. Fire. Roll a die to determine which space bursts into flames. Okay. Let's see here. Boop. 4. The utility shed. That's this zone right here. All victims in that space are killed. No one there. Perfect. Discard all item cards from that space. That's the utility shed with our archery bow that we wanted. All these items are gone. If you or an enemy are there, you each lose a health. If we rolled for a dock, that would damage him, but that would kill 2 more victims, and that would increase him and unlock his dark power. Oh, this is all just terrible, guys. I don't think I'm going to win. All right, my turn. Oh, man. Oh, I have one dice. I guess I search. Oh yeah, reset my time back up to 6. I can only take the top card here, so. A success. Take the top card, reduce my time by 1. Top card of the cabins, that's where I am, right? Yeah. Is the whistle. Spend a time to use the whistle once per action phase. When used, all victims adjacent to me will move to my space. Then all enemies target the final girl and boot scoots over. As long as I have the whistle, 1 additional victim will follow you. The whistle. The whistle counteracts the stubborn kids. Okay. Well, I kind of don't want to. I don't want to like use these cards here. I'm gonna go ahead and end my turn there, so I have 5 to purchase. First is gonna be getting all the zeros to my hand because I'm still here. I have 5, so I'm gonna grab an improvise. And I think 2 close calls, and that's 5, 3, 4, 5. Reset my time back up to 6. Oh yeah, the search card that I used back into its search pile here. Oh man, this is tough. And that's my turn. The killer will target the nearest thing to him, will kill this guy, which increases the bloodlust tracker, which unlocks his dark power. His dark power is the dark obsession. Whenever Hans attacks you at least once, he attacks an additional time. Ouch. Oh, he is obsessed with Lori. All right. And then tarot card is drawn. He wants fresh blood. If there are no victims on the board, discard and draw the next one. He targets the nearest victim. He's currently on there. Boot scoots on over twice and then attacks. So this victim just straight up dies as well, which increases our bloodlust 1. So now he's doing 3 damage. I need to save these 3 victims so much. Okay, on my turn. I have a whistle. I need to save these last 3 victims. Okay, so in order to do that, we really need to focus. We need to increase our horror so we can roll more than 1 dice. Whoop. That's a 0. We're gonna go ahead and close call. Reroll any 1 die because, well, we only have 1. We're gonna use our second close call because this is just all horrible. You know what? You go into dice jail. We'll use a new dice. Okay, I am gonna discard 2 here. So that's gonna be 1 walk to discard and a weak attack. So I'm discarding those to get a 1 success on the focus, which reduces my horror by 1, reduces my time by 1. But now I get to roll 2 dice. So that's that used. Okay, 2 dice. Whew. Let's improvise with these 2 dice. 1 success. So the next horror roll is all 3s and 4s are successes. So I'm just going to try and remember that. And that one will be a sprint. We're going to have an improvised sprint going on here. So this 4 is a success. So we move up to 2 spaces and reduce time by 1. So I'm going to go ahead and do that reduction now. So that's 1 space, 2 space. I'll save this victim. And I think I will increase my time by 2, so we're back up to 6. So the sprint is done, and the improvise is done. Did I already use a walk? Yeah, I'm gonna save this next walk, but I will short rest. If this ends my turn, I'll be fine with that. 1 heal 1, and then reduce time by 1. I'll save the rest of these. Okay, that's my turn. I have 5 time to purchase here. I will be purchasing a sprint and an improvise. Or a distraction. Because I really need to reduce my horror. Yeah. And these return to the tableau. Sprint and improvise. 0 cost and close calls. Oh man. Oh, actually, no. Before my turn and before I purchased any of these, I was basically out of the hand. I'm going to use my whistle. Ooh, no. Spend a time. So let me saving my game state. Reducing this one. Distraction and sprint was what I purchased. I was at 5. I want to use my whistle right now. So I'm going to spend 1 time to use that whistle to... ooh. No. No, I don't want to. Not yet. Nope. Game state's returning to what it was. I wanted to use the whistle, but I forgot that this will give him a boot of movement, and I kind of don't want him to get any closer to me. I think what I want to do is move 2 here and then use it, and then like move 2 back, because that's the only way I'm going to save these. So I'm going to, yeah, we're good here. So Hans is going to attack nothing, and then tarot card. Oh, he's unlocking his finale soon, pretty much next turn. Taking souvenirs. There are no victims on the board, draw the next one. Otherwise, target the nearest victim. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's going to go through the lake. 2 movements over, so that's 2 boots, so that's 4. So 1, 2, 3. No, and he's killing him. So I can no longer get my finale ability, and I increase my horror into the red zone. Oh, jeez. For each victim killed during this killer phase, 1 did die. Increased. You know, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, yeah. I should have used the whistle. Okay. Well, this isn't looking good. Okay, let us start with. So victims won't come to us, won't move onto a space with a killer on it. So essentially that guy's also not savable. Let's start with some focusing up. Oh, it's only 1 dice. It's a success. Reduce horror by 1, decrease time by 1. It will reset back to 6, going down to 5. Done. Let's distract ourselves. Rolling 2 dice. 1 success means reduce horror by 1, but increase the time. That's kind of nice. Okay. Let's sprint. So 1 success, move up to 2 spaces, reduce time by 1. What 2 spaces do I want to get to? I'm going to the... Oh, I can't go to the utility shed. It was fired, so there's no benefit to it. So I think I'll go 1 space, 2 space, maybe try to make my way to the dock to get some of those fireworks. And then walk. Why not? I'm just... This guy at makeout point is... Since I can't get my ultimate ability, you're just doing whatever you want. Move up to 1 space. I'm swimming in a lake, and I reduce down to 4 time. Yeah. 4 times. So I think I'll buy a sprint and a search, trying to get something from the docks. All right, return to the tableau. Oh yeah, get all my 0 costs back. Boom. A walk and focus are here. A sprint and a distraction. Okay. Hans targets the nearest thing, attacks nothing. And then the last tarot card. He kept swinging his hammer and killing and killing. If there are no victims on the board, discard and draw the next one. Otherwise, target the nearest victim, boot scoot over, and kill him. Increases that, increases our horror. Oh, this is not doing good. And then he does it again, but there are no victims, so his target priority is still on the victim. He won't target me, and he'll just stay still. So that means we now unlock his finale power, which is Bloodbath. So he has 2 boots of movement, and then he attacks twice, and then with his Dark Obsession, he attacks an additional time. So he attacks 3 times. Oh, this is not looking good. Oh man, is this really gonna be the first video I have? Just me losing? Okay. We are going to walk, because we only need one spot to move to, so I'm gonna try and get us there. 2, move up to 2 spaces, but I'll still just move 1. I forgot to reset the time. Walk complete. I have a focus. Do I want to focus? Yeah, it couldn't hurt. This is like unnecessary to do. So reduce horror by 1, reduce that by 1. Let's go ahead and search. For 0, I could take the top card, which is Fireworks, spend 2 time to place the Fireworks token in your space or an adjacent one, then discard this. Whenever the killer must choose a target, they will choose the Fireworks instead. Discard the Fireworks token when the killer enters the space. Discard the Fireworks in the killer's space where it's located. Choose the yeah, okay. Increase horror by 2, so I get back to rolling 1 dice. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. I'm taking the top item card of Fireworks, increase my horror by 2, reducing time by 2. This is going so horribly. And then I'm going to short rest. I think I'm going to stay here and try to dig up some more items, but I'm okay if this even ends my turn. And it is, so I heal up to 1. Oh, I don't, actually, no, I didn't even need to, but I already did it, so I'm going to do it. I heal up to 1, but I'm already at max. Increase horror, which it can't get increased anymore, so it increases a bloodlust, so it goes boop. So he does 5 damage per swing. Reduce my time to put to 1, and then my turn immediately ends. I have 1. I'm going to, actually, I'm going to discard 2 of those cards, so I'm at 3. You can discard a card to gain 1 time. I'm going to get a search and a close call, and all my 0 costs back. All right, these all go back. To the tableau. And then he moves. There are no more terror cards, but he's going to target me. 2 boots of movement, so that's 6 spaces. He only needs 3. And 2 attacks plus 1. So this is 5, 10, 15. Okay, well, he's doing, I don't have any defense cards. I should have thought about that before. I should have gotten a guard or retaliate. He does 5 damage to me, which kills all of that health. So that 4 health is gone. But the 5th damage is this. If there's hearts behind this, the turn immediately ends, or the current phase, so the killer ends, and I get 1 extra turn to do something, and I'm gonna need it. Okay. I'm just dead. Jeez, Hans, I am not the final girl. That one about as terrible as I imagined. That's a great first video. All right, good job, me. Well, we were unsuccessful at killing Hans, defending Camp Happy Trails. He decided to just kill Laurie with his bloodbath dark obsession with her. And I think actually, in the lore, he is actually obsessed with her. Like, I think as we progress through these, we see that he's obsessed with her. That's why he keeps fighting her at these other locations, because he's always finding Laurie here. So we take him to the. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna assume, I don't know, go to the next one. We go to the, what house is that? Creech Manor, then we take him to the Sacred Groves, then the Carnival of Blood, and then Maple Lane. And then this is the finale right here, the final nightmare with him in Maple Lane. But you know what? I think next time we'll just do, we'll just progress a different storyline, the Poltergeist, which she has an interesting mechanic. So for the Hans, for this game, there are no special rules, but on every other one, there's gonna have some special rules, so we'll get into that. Well, thanks for watching. Kind of wish I won my first game. Meh. Do an additional damage. Oh. I can't read. I don't even. The town was wondering why. The town sent out. Oh yeah, I need to mention that, don't I? Eventually. Oh, I need to figure out what comes next.